Hi, my name is Leslie Laurie, and I'm from DC, but originally from New York. And so this is for both of you. So Cole, as everybody who's in my generation, you've been growing up with us. So you've gone from adorable baby to like smooth, dark, and mysterious. And for KJ, you started acting more recently. So how do you both differently deal with like this overall like sexualization or like uncomfortable levels of like, hey, we love you, like in the new like pop culture media sort of?
Great question. You want to start? Sexy?
It's kind of a hard thing to talk about or to explain. I think I started acting when I was 16, so it kind of started around at that point in my life. I just think the most important thing for me is to always stay grounded, to have your feet planted firmly on the floor. I think it's easy when you get that much attention to start, you know, your ego can just fly through the roof. So it's important to stay grounded, you know. But yeah, it's always weird to be kind of in that kind of space.
I think firstly we should mention that men are rarely sexualized to the same degree that women are within the entertainment industry. But I think, and I think the degree with which fanaticism sexualizes women is much more lecherous in the way it does than it is for men. But yeah, that's what our show kind of sells in a campy way. It very intentionally it sells that kind of idea. But even, you know, and it sounds creepy, but even when I was on Disney Channel, people were doing the same thing.
Like when you were a kid?
Yeah. Yep. And it goes for both parties. It goes for both men and women, or boys and girls in this case, when you're a kid. And that's part of the idolization that exists within film and television. So it's kind of part of the job that you expect to walk into. But the nature of fanaticism has changed quite a bit with social media, where before on Disney, people didn't feel as immediately connected to you. Whereas with social media now and the creation of your own personhood as
People feel a lot closer.
Totally. They feel a lot more connected to you in a way that I think creates an illusion that they can come up to you and treat you pretty differently. I also think the double standard with something like masculinity within the film and television industry is that there's lots of grabby, there's lots of touchy, there's lots of things that if the roles were reversed would be a total issue. But our society kind of just writes off as commonplace. So I don't know, it's a mixed bag, but it's one of those things that you sort of expect, and most people with a good head on their shoulders realize that it's problematic. So and I also think that the way our society is sort of forming it now is it's becoming more of a public discussion and obviously becoming more taboo, where people don't do it as often. So that's a step in the right direction for all of us.
Thank you
really
so
good
much.
question.
Yeah, great question.
With this social